Hi guys, were you sick of me? Well, good, because I'm back. And today I'm subjecting myself to torture that I was completely unaware about. Now, I have a sketchbook, okay? I draw. And even though I started it on January 29th, and today is what, like the 13th of February? It's still like barely even started, like maybe 5 pages filled. But of course, first you have to get through this train wreck of a drawing where I decided a bit more than I can bite, more than I can chew. Frog drawing. Me drawing aesthetic. All the fun stuff. But the thing is that like you're barely even 10 pages in, and then it's blank. So gotta fill this thing up by asking other people to do stuff for me. Of course, what do I mean by asking for people to do stuff for me? I'm glad you asked. You asked the important questions. I mean, I asked people to pick out color combinations for me, and I drew something with that. Now, before we do anything, we gotta tell the masses, so we gotta take an amazing picture, just like that. And then, of course, we gotta get that question sticker so then they can answer with their favorite color combination. Gotta slap that right on the forehead. Then we also gotta say that we're gonna draw it, so that hopefully people don't torture me. But unfortunately, we all know that they're gonna do it anyways, unintentionally, so. uh... Now that we're done, we gotta let the masses know, and then start picking out our colors. Now this is where being a digital artist, well, I'm not a digital artist, but this is where not being a digital artist becomes a pain in the butt. Because you gotta pick out everything by hand, dig everything out of its gorgeous container. But of course, this saved me from that pain. All I did was pick out my school supplies and then dug out my bag of Posca pens. Now, of course, assuming that people weren't going to be evil to me, I only picked out colors from the rainbow, including pink. So pink, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. So hopefully we can have a nice variation of everything and be able to layer supplies in hopefully a nice fashionable way. Now, this unfortunately was where I thought completely wrong. I swear, you got to be kidding me. Out of all the colors you could possibly choose, you choose basically red and gray. It kind of makes me mad, but here's me swatching the supplies in hopes that they at least would look nice together, and turns out they did, but all I only got as an idea for what to draw was Satan. So sorry for the terrible camera view, but that was essentially what I was drawing at first. Did a little like profile of Satan himself. Then I went on and was like, what if he was a frog? That was literally all that went through my head. And then after that, I just kind of worked through like what could possibly work with these supplies, and went on to drawing the bigger picture. To be quite honest, I did the same drawing process as I did with the little, I forgot what it's called. With the little sketch from earlier. Basically did the exact same thing, except for this time I brought out my kneaded eraser, so when I'm done drawing all my harder lines, I could just not exactly worry about the alcohol marker kind of like making it, like spreading it out and stuff. And instead of like doing the starting off with the background color as my alcohol marker, I started off as my little Crayola marker, which to a varying degree I think was a mistake because alcohol and water apparently don't mix. And when I immediately went into drawing Mr. Satan the Frog afterwards, you could almost feel something awkwardly pulling at the marker, but for whatever reason, I didn't think about stopping, or the thought just didn't cross my mind that I could possibly be destroying the marker as we speak. But I did nothing. I did nothing. um, After coloring it, I went in with my Posca pen and added some highlights and some dots for, I don't know, those weird dot things that people always draw on frogs. I also went back through, added more shadows that went with my Sharpie S gel pen, which is really nice, by the way, and outlined Satan the Frog and also colored in his crown and tail. So then hopefully when I use my silver glitter pen, it will pop out better, which honestly it didn't really help, but there's not much I could do. Now, the thing about like Jelly Roll glitter pens, at least something that I've noticed, is that you can layer them. So I've kind of just thrown on the first layer on the horns kind of haphazardly, then went in through other stuff like darkening the weird mouth part, shading that, and going through the fire in the background in hopes that it would dry so then I can go in with layer number 2. Yeah. I know I kind of cheated with adding the orange glitter Posca pen, but I feel like that was the only way to truly tell that it was fire behind him. So I did what I gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah. Now, of course, putting in the last touches and look back at the reference really quickly to see if I wanted to draw the fork, only for me to decide not to and just sign my name. Now just look at him in all of his glory, I love him so much. Then of course we had to take a lovely picture of him and send him out. Was my friend's response to this, and I have to say, it was the one and only proper response. The thing is that I thought the last one was kind of torture, but the thing is, this one really is. Unlike our first little go around, where you could argue that I wasn't necessarily prepared color wise, because face it, the only great thing I had was this pen. The thing is that with this one, is that the art supplies were working against me, which is fun. Now, if you couldn't help but look at all the supplies that I'm using, all of them are Posca pens. Fun fact, Posca pens are water-based, meaning that if I were to try to layer them, it's just going to reactivate the pen, which was something fun to work with. Now, I tried to pull out my Sharpie and my Sharpie S gel pen in hopes that they would work and give me the black coverage that I wanted, but they didn't, so I kind of had to go out and use my Posca pens anyways. Then here's me swatching all the blues, which turned out really well, especially since I didn't really activate any of them before that, which was an achievement on my part. Then, of course, we got the yellows, which was really sketchy, mainly because, again, I didn't activate anything before that, so I had to go back and do that going for round 2. But even with reactivating the markers, it was still, like, a pain to, like, the nibs were still being stained by the black marker, which was kind of showing that it was reactivating. Then, of course, when I tried reactivating the red one, it exploded on my paper, which just made me mad. It made me mad. But at least it showed up faithfully on my paper, which I am happy about. Then I thought it was cool adding the pink glitter pen, but then I quickly decided not to. Now, I don't know. The unfortunate thing of not exactly being prepared to do any of this kind of stuff is that don't really have what I need, and what you guys need to see is what I'm doing. But basically, with me conveniently having a dinosaur printed blanket right next to me, the first thing that came to mind was, let's like draw a picture of this dinosaur in its last moments. So right now I'm like coloring the comet. No, wait, would it be an asteroid? I don't even know. But basically, got big long neck blue dinosaur with bushes in the background that end up like also kind of having like yellow and red edges too because of the lighting of the asteroid. And then the asteroid is like yellow on the outside, but then the rock is specifically red. I did try to blend out the gel pen with the Posca pen, which didn't really work out well because it reactivated the black layer underneath, which means that pretty much everything I go through with this has to be like on the first try, which is fun. Now, of course, with this, I kind of started out with the black background already being there, because face it kind of had to be there in the first place. Then, of course, I went on to sketching the dinosaur, the plants, the asteroid, etc., which was pretty easy. I knew what I was doing for the most part. Then I brought out my kneaded eraser to kind of lighten the lines, since you could very clearly see the lead on top of the black. And then, of course, I went in starting off with the dinosaur, so that, because the pen takes a little bit to dry, so I kind of started off with that. Then I think I went to something else. I don't really remember. But even looking at it from this angle, you could kind of see certain parts of the pen like drying lighter at first compared to the wetter, darker areas of the dinosaur that were recent. Then I did do the fatal mistake of trying to blend it out, because I thought, who knows, maybe since it was recent, it would go down easier, but it was a lie. And then I started off with the first layer of the asteroid first layer of yellow for the asteroid, and then while I was drawing, I went back and kind of did the highlight of the leaves, so then hopefully I can go back and do another layer so that it pops out more. But then, of course, I forgot that before I do the highlight of the leaves, I was supposed to color it in black so then you can kind of like tell the difference between the sky and the leaves. So I went back and did that. And now I'm going in with my Jelly Roll pen that is almost empty and filling the sky with stars because it's obviously nighttime. And then we're going in for our first layer of yellow and then kind of blending it in with the yellow glitter pen, which didn't really work, by the way. Then, of course, we did the red highlight of the leaves, and then we went in with my red Posca pen and kind of purposely imploded it on it in hopes of me not really having to wait for the yellow to dry, only for me to realize that either way, you're gonna have to wait a hot minute for the red to dry. And then I went on to the next page, which makes me mad. But here's the final product. I think it's pretty cute, I'm not gonna lie. Then, of course, we gotta take a picture and send this out so that everyone can see this dinosaur in their last moment. Well, there's our two drawings. I thought it was pretty cute and a great way for me to spend my day since I've been doing nothing for pretty much all day. Obviously, there were more responses than this, and I still haven't even done what my personal favorite color combination, but who knows, maybe this would low-key become a series because I still want to do this and keep up with everyone else's responses, but who knows, maybe if I also do the same thing and record, I could make a video out of it. I don't know. This is really just something for fun and because I was bored and I don't exactly want to stress it out, but who knows. But I hope you guys liked it. I know I did. I enjoyed it, in case you couldn't tell by the excitement on my face. And yeah, who knows. Stay tuned. I don't know. Just have a nice day.